Bold News on the NCR channel is presented by the Pinewood Nainital.
Hi, Bridget, and welcome to BN Half, Bold News Hybrid Art Awards Festival. Bridget is an actress based in US, LA, and she works in Hollywood. She's worked on films with Lawrence Fishburne, Dennis Richards, Mike Tyson, practically the who's who of entertainment industry. So a very warm welcome to Bridget from India. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to meet you.
Thank you, Bridget. So tell us something about yourself. How did your journey in cinema start? What made you think that you wanted to be an actress?
I wanted to be an actor ever since I was little. When I went with my school to see a play, and it was a play of The Secret Garden, and I saw a little girl on the stage, and I thought I wanted to be that little girl. I would rather be up there than watching what was happening. And so I've just been pursuing that passion. I've also been writing, and as a comedian and as a actor, it's very helpful to write for yourself. So I've created works like a sitcom that was on Time Warner called Musy. That was there in 2014. And then that's just springboarded me into other films and other opportunities. So I'm very grateful to do both comedy as a comedian and also drama. And this last movie is a little bit of both because it's a beautiful Christmas story.
Wonderful. Congratulations to all your success.
Thank
So,
you.
what's your, did you do a film school or did you go to a film school? How did you kickstart your career?
Well, I didn't go to film school. I did go to college and I did major in script development, which means that I was writing plays and directing plays and producing plays. I also wrote film scripts. I wrote a lot of um, uh, television. I was doing a television show at my school. And meanwhile, I was still acting the entire time in the school's productions and took acting classes as well. And so I feel that anyone who's on their way up, they need to stay working and educating themselves because you never know when these things are helpful again later on in your career.
Wonderful. So, what was that defining moment, the first break? How did you get the first break? Because we all know that Hollywood and Bollywood is a very tough industry to break into since they are highly
Right.
commercialized industries. So, what
Mhm.
was it? How did you get your first break?
Well, I definitely have been planting the seeds. I think that everybody has a big break, but that's when preparation meets opportunity. So I definitely was always trying out for things. I was always auditioning. I was always pushing myself forward, and I got cast after graduation in a theater play, and then I worked for like a whole season in the State Theater of North Carolina. And then from there, I went on a children's theater tour and I went around the country. And then from there, I moved to New York. And it's just like one step forward keeps moving constantly. So when I got to New a film on a whim because I still thought of myself at the time as more of a writer than an actor, and I needed to. Sometimes you need to fall in order to get up. I definitely tried to go in the direction of just getting a master's degree in writing. And then when I wasn't accepted, I was like, you know what I've been doing this entire time is acting. And I really want to keep doing that. And I feel like I was forced to be brave and started doing more of the risk taking that you have to do as an actor, which is constantly putting yourself out there, auditioning. And I auditioned for a film when I was in New York, which was one of my first auditions, and I booked it, and it was the lead of that film. And so from there, I just kept doing anything I could get my hands on to get better. And I feel like you need to do those 10,000 hours just to get better at your craft. So I did a lot of student films, a lot of indie films, a lot of low budget films. And finally, one took off that had Armand Desante and Edward Asner, who just recently passed, rest in peace, called Joe's War. And that one really gave me a catapult and a boost, but it wasn't out of nowhere. I feel like everyone has a lot of steps that come before that big break. So I myself have lived that path.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's amazing to know your journey. So tell me something. This is a very interesting thing that you have worked in New York also, and you have worked in LA also. And very many times I hear from my foreign friends, particularly those based in US, that the work culture in New York and work culture in LA, Hollywood, is totally different. What's your take on that?
I think that in New York, it's a lot of like go, go, go. It's a beautiful city. Everyone is very goal oriented. So I think that just the taking care of your basic needs is very difficult in New York, as opposed to Los Angeles, where I feel that more people are laid back. You also get more sunshine. I feel like people are goal oriented, but in a different way. The speed of work is different. In Los Angeles, it's all about driving to these auditions or taping them from your home. And in New York, it's all about getting on the subway, getting there as early as you can, and making those connections where you can. So I feel that both of them have their merits. Definitely, I think New York is a subway town that moves fast, and LA moves fast in a different way, in a social way, in a who you know and building connections. And both of them really are just about that, about building connections and then one project leading to the next.
Perfect. Very beautifully answered. What I want to ask is, where do you enjoy working more, in New York or LA?
I
And
love
why?
working in LA.
And
Oh, and why? Ooh,
yeah,
tough question. Okay, well, I love LA. That's where I live now. My goal, once I decided to focus on film over theater, it was to save up from New York and move to Los Angeles. And I love it. I definitely think there are so many more opportunities here. And I do feel like, in a sense, it's like the big leagues. Not that New York is not, but for TV and film, there's so much of the industry that's here, as opposed to New York, where there is, but it's just not every day. You don't have the same amount of opportunities and same amount of opportunities to get yourself in the door off of self-submits or off of really just, if you want to go for it, like, you have to, I feel like, be where everyone's playing the game. And that's from my opinion, and again, it's not TV based, it's not theater based. For film, I think that's Los Angeles gets the brunt of the film industry in the United States.
perfect. There are so many different genre that are available in film industry. There are different formats that are happening. Many people say that this is the best time to be in the film industry because of the OTT boom. So what is your strengths and what is the genre that you enjoy working in, particularly as an actress?
I love comedy. I love doing that, but I also really like to cry on cue. So I'm torn. I like doing both. I've had a great time as both a dramatic actor and as a comedic actor. I feel like I've been exploring different genres more lately. I've been doing more things that are like suspense, or I just did a sci-fi comedy that was called Snatchers, where we had like aliens and we had a day of green screen where we were fighting the aliens and that sort of stuff. So those are all fun to explore, but I think my heart is more of comedy and drama. I feel like those are, well, I guess that's like saying that you like everything, but in a way you do. You find a way to fall in love with every project that you become a part of. And I feel like I'm drawn to really good stories, as are we all. And to me, it's less about what genre that story is, as how good is that story? And do I want to know what happens to these people?
Wonderful. You're an actress, you're a producer, you're a writer, you're a director. So, what is
Yes.
the role that you enjoy playing the most? Do you like being an actor or do you like being a director? And why?
I oh, and why? Okay. Oh man, you hard-hitting questions with, with you today. Let's see. Well, obviously my favorite thing that I'm most passionate about is acting. I would not do the other roles if they did not lead towards acting, which has been my goal and my drive and my ambition. Honestly, I think that the time spent in all these other pursuits have been to give myself more acting opportunities. And I think that that's the way the industry is going. If you see like micro budget films or you see limited series or things like that, these are the results of people trying to create work for themselves and pitching a room. And then once you do that, then you springboard the rest of the things. It's like dominoes, you know what I mean? So I think that for me, I definitely am most compelled to be an actor because it's part of who I am, like at the core of who I am. I feel like I come alive when I'm acting. I feel like I'm more of my true self when I use the artistic gifts I've been given as an actor to give people that gift, that release of whatever it is. Like people have come up to me afterwards on projects that I'm doing and they're like, thank you so much. I didn't know I needed to cry like that. Or thank you so much. I really needed that laugh. And I feel like that's part of my goal as a person is to be that sort of, I call it an emotional chiropractor because I feel like there's things that people don't realize that they have inside that they need to release. And my work as an actor helps other people in that sense. And I'm very grateful to have that gift and to be able to use it to help others.
Perfect, perfect. So we were talking about different genre, and I remember that many a times when I attend film lectures, film classes, there has been a lot of talk about nudity in cinema and
Ooh.
and intimate scenes in cinema. So, what is your take on that? Thank you, Bridget, for your time. And it
Oh, you're
was
welcome.
really empowering to hear to your success story.
Bold News on the NCR channel is presented by the Pinewood Nainital.